Have you been considering selling your home or property to one of these sell your house fast for cash companies? You might have even received some postcards in the mail or text asking if you're interested in selling your house. Well, in this video, I'm going to break down the things you absolutely need to know before you even ever consider thinking about selling your house to a person or real estate investor so you don't get ripped off. How do I know all the secrets these companies use? Easy, because I'm an investor myself who's been buying homes for the past 20 years. So the next question I usually get is, Mark, you're an investor with a company that buys homes for cash. Why in the world are you making this video? Well, it's because I'm sick and tired of seeing people get ripped off and taken advantage of. There is a need for investors like me that do things ethically and are transparent, but there are a lot of companies out there that you need to be careful of. So here are 8 things you need to watch out for, and please watch until the end of the video because the last one is very, very important. But before I start, here's my disclaimer. I am not an attorney, and this video is no way legal advice. It is strictly my opinion. Please seek legal advice from a real estate attorney as you deem necessary. Number 1 is I want you to meet this buyer in person, not their agent or inspector or some other third party, but the person who's going to be buying the property. You want to be able to look them in the eyes and judge if they are a legitimate buyer or not. I don't recommend working with anyone out of state or some of these larger companies you might see ads for on TV or hear on the radio because they all play the same game. So let me ask you, how can someone possibly make a serious offer to buy your house for cash when they've never even seen it? It's about impossible, right? And these companies all play the same game. They will get a homeowner under contract, do an inspection, then start renegotiating the price. They find issues with the roof or foundation, or say it's in worse condition than they thought, and they have to reduce their offer by $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. And this happens weeks down the line, and usually by that time the homeowner is stuck because they've moved out or really need the money for something else. So I recommend working with someone local who you can look in the eyes and work out any problems that might come up. Number 2 is you need to understand if the person or company you're selling to is the end buyer. Well, what exactly does that mean? There's an industry out there called wholesaling. And if you've been getting calls and texts and postcards in the mail, it's probably been from wholesalers. Wholesalers are middlemen who will try and find deals, homeowners looking to sell, and then sell those contracts to a third party. So what exactly does that look like? Let's say a wholesaler offers you $100,000 for your house, and you agree and sign a purchase contract. That wholesaler will then go out and try to sell that contract to a third party for, let's say, $150,000 and keep the difference, or what is called the assignment fee. Now, wholesaling isn't illegal, and there are some people and companies out there that do things the right way. But often what happens is the homeowner has no idea what's going on. And worse, if the wholesalers can't find a third-party buyer, they're just going to walk away from the deal, leaving the homeowner high and dry. I see this a lot where these companies will just terminate contracts using some BS contingency like partner approval in the 11th hour after the homeowners are already moved out or made other plans. There's a lot more I could go into about wholesaling, but I don't want to make this video like 30 minutes long. So just do a little bit of research on it. I've actually got a whole video on my YouTube channel dedicated to what wholesaling is and what to look out for. Number 3 is make sure you understand if there's language in the purchase offer about it being an assignable contract. This has to do with what I just described in number 2 about wholesaling. If there's language or a clause in the contract that it can be assigned or sold to a third party, you're probably dealing with a wholesaler and not an end buyer, or the person who's actually going to be buying the property. Before I continue, if you're considering a cash offer on your home and want to work with a legit local company, give me a call. I guess I should introduce myself properly. My name is Mark Van Stein, and I'm the owner of EasySell Cash Homebuyers right here in Columbus, Ohio. Here's my name. Please Google me. I want you to find out all about me, my company, my history. My family's been in the real estate business in Columbus for the last 45 years. I've been in it for more than 2 decades. We aren't some fly-by-night operation or someone who took a couple of classes and decided to try to flip a house. We've been around a long time and we're not going anywhere. I'm also a licensed real estate agent in the state of Ohio with RE/MAX Premier Choice. Now, this isn't some just credential, and I don't want to list your house. I know this is not what you're looking for. What it does mean is that I am legally bound by state of Ohio regulations to conduct business and treat homeowners ethically and fairly. And when you work with me, that's exactly what's going to happen. You'll even get to meet me in person. And you have my word, there is no high pressure sales tactics and absolutely no obligation. The decision to accept or decline my offer is entirely yours. So if you're looking for an all cash offer on your home, give me a call. My contact information is down below and at the end of the video. Number 4 is make sure the buyer provides you with a legitimate proof of funds document. This person's offering to buy your house for cash, right? So they should be able to provide you with a bank statement which shows that amount of cash parked in an account somewhere. If they are making you an all cash offer, it should be no big deal. Now, if they provide you with some sort of pre-approval letter or lender's letter, then I'd start asking questions. As you probably know, whenever you start borrowing money from a third party, whether it's a person, a bank, or some other type of lender, there are going to be stipulations for that loan. They just don't loan out free money to people without conditions. You need to understand the circumstances and decide if this person or company is really a legit cash buyer. Number 5 is the buyer should put down some sort of large non-refundable deposit. This deposit in Ohio is sometimes referred to as earnest money or the good faith deposit. It's held by a third party like a title company or an attorney which might be handling the transaction. Now, when I say a large amount, I recommend like 5 figures large, $10,000 at the minimum. This is really going to help you figure out, is this buyer legitimate or is this someone who's just wasting my time? A lot of times these inexperienced investors will be like, let's do $200 or $500. Nope. No! I recommend $10,000 at the minimum. If they can't pull together 10 grand, how are they really going to buy your house for cash? If they can't, well then I would just consider moving on to someone else. Next is the paperwork and contract involved in a property sale. I can't tell you how many times I see this done incorrectly, and it's not done right. It can leave the homeowner really exposed. Now, the actual contract or purchase agreement really can be anything. It could be 2 sentences on the back of a napkin that everybody signed. But you really want to use something that was put together by an attorney or someone that knows what they're doing. I've been shown a lot of contracts of deals that have been falling apart, and some are like a half a page long. Let me tell you, the Columbus Realtors contract, the one that most real estate brokerages use here in Central Ohio, is 16 pages long. Now, 16 pages might be a little bit of overkill, but 16 pages to a half a page, you have to ask yourself, what's missing? The other document that hardly ever gets asked for or done is a residential property disclosure form. This is a document every seller who sells a property in the state of Ohio has to fill out. It's state law, and it gets missed so many times, especially for those out-of-state investors. This document by far is the #1 reason why homeowners get sued. And I have seen homeowners get sued not by the person who bought the house, but a couple of buyers down the line years later. You just really want to make sure that all the paperwork is done correctly and legally to protect yourself. Number 7 is do some homework on the buyer or company. In today's world, this should be pretty easy. For example, when I work with a homeowner, I give them my full name and encourage them to Google me. I want them to find all about me, my company, my history, before we even start discussing making an offer on the house. I want them to be completely comfortable with who they're dealing with. And I suggest you do the same. Does this company have a website? Are they accredited with the Better Business Bureau or the local board of realtors? Do they have a business license? This is something that you can be pretty easily look up on a state website. Is there a physical office address you can go visit them at? All questions you should be researching and doing your homework, helping you decide, is this somebody I really want to be dealing with, and are they really legit? And lastly, if you're still living in the property, don't give up possession and move out until the deal is done and the money is in your pocket. And this goes along with number 4 that I see, and I get so many calls from homeowners who work with the wrong companies and the company terminates the deal in the 11th hour, leaving the homeowners high and dry. So what I do, and what I would suggest that you do if you're living in the house currently, retain possession until after the house is closed and the money is in your pocket. This is something I do with every homeowner I work with, and something that I believe should be a deal killer for you if you're still living in the house. This way, you don't have to worry about if the deal is going to fall apart. You don't have to worry about the buyer having leverage on you and trying to renegotiate the deal. Now, if the buyer agrees to let you have possession until after the closing is complete, it's not unusual for there to be some sort of holdback to make sure you vacate the property on the agreed upon vacate day. Well, I hope you found the video helpful and informative. If you're looking for a legitimate company that's not going to play games and be completely transparent, give me a call. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. If I didn't think I could help, I could certainly point you in the right direction. Good luck on your sale.